Okay, now we're at the Jarvis house. The last of Jason's killings on that Sunday the 15th. Yes, we're still at Crystal Lake. Apparently it's just that big. Friday the 13th. The final chapter was released on April 13th, 1984. Filmed on a budget of $2.2 million, it earned $33 million back at the box office. As the title suggests, this was intended to be the end of the series. Because while Paramount loves the money the films brought in, they were extremely embarrassed at them. Picking up right after part 3, Jason escapes the morgue and returns to the lake to kill. Just like part 3, we follow a bunch of horny teens, as usual, as they rent a house by the lake. But the true main characters are young Tommy Jarvis, his sister Trish, and their mom. And also this guy named Rob. He's there for some reason. Tommy Jarvis would become the closest this series had to a main character. The Laurie to Jason's Michael. Part 4 through 6 is normally referred to as the Jarvis Trilogy, seeing these are the only films that feature the character, until you get to the fan-made films and Never Hike Alone. Here, Tommy is played by young Corey Feldman in his third film performance. And I like Tommy. He reminds me of how I was as a kid a little bit. A complete horror freak. And you just look at his room. Look at his room. I would kill to have a room like this. How do you even make any of those masks? Don't really buy it. It's movie magic. Just go with movie magic. This time around, Jason is played by the late Ted White. I think it's good to say this is peak Jason at the time, considering the first 4 movies. Part 2 Jason was creepy. Part 3 brought the sadistic side of the character, brought out the his intimidating build and stuff. But Ted White was absolutely brutal and pissed. I don't blame him too. Jason had one hell of a weekend. Helping to bring us this new pissed off Voorhees is Tom Savini, returning to do the makeup and special effects. And the kills. The kills in the final chapter are amazing and pure on vicious. I mean, the opening kill with the morgue, when Jason just slits into the throat and twisted it all around. The weird banana kill, which was more brutal than it has any right to be. That poor dude who just got his head pushed into the shower wall. That crunch when Jason just eases into a little. Ted had a pretty memorable kill. The look on his face is just priceless. Crispin Glover got a nice little, an axe or a hatchet to the face. And also just windows. There's a lot of window breakage in this movie for some reason. Jason throws one out a window. One character jumps out a window to escape Jason. A dog jumps out a window. Not exactly sure why the dog jumped out the window, but it was a cool effect. Cool stunt. Probably one of the most talked about kills is when one of the characters goes out for a nice little swim after a little fight with her boyfriend. She's resting in the boat, then Jason jumps out of the water and stabs her right through. Well, this is a great kill. I think most people are talking about how it was filmed. So from what I can gather from the what was it called again? His name was Jason or the Camp Crystal Lake series. I don't know. There's 2 documentaries and one's like an 11 hours long. I forgot what it was called. But apparently the actress, for one, it wasn't a closed set. So when she had to get all nude for the scene, everyone was there. Not a very fun thing to do. Also, how they shot the scene is very similar to how they shot Kevin Bacon's death. So they have the boat, they have a fake part of her body, like a fake body on the boat. Then you have her head just sticking out through the boat. So while her head was visible, the rest of her body was in the water. And now apparently they had to there's delays, or they kept having to refilm it. It was one of the two, and this went on for like hours. And it was dead night, freezing cold water, and the actress was getting very, very noticeably sick. And Ted White, or Jason at the time, he had to basically threatened, not really basically, he threatened to leave the film if you don't pull the girl out of the water, because I don't know what the director was thinking at the time. You can't sit in freezing cold water for that long. But the threat worked. They got her out. She had hyperthermia and had to, I don't think she was hospitalized, but she had to be, she was sick for several days, apparently. Doesn't know to feature filmmakers. Treat your actors right. Just remember their people and not props. Just remember that sometimes. Besides Jason and the Jarvis, not a lot of the characters are that memorable. Except of course Crispin Glover. I'm not sure why, but Glover has such a fun personality in this film. Like, he just sticks out compared to everybody else. He's not, he's just Crispin Glover. He's not the stereotypical horny a-hole. He's not the geeky guy. He's not Shelly. He's just Glover. Also, he has a very, very awesome dance sequence. So, around the middle of the film, while all the kids are partying, he puts on this song and starts doing this weird, awesome dance, which Glover said what he normally do when he dances at clubs. I remember this so much. It's just so fun and awesome. This was actually one of my favorite parts to edit when I did my Friday the 13th music video for like the first video I did on the channel. Don't know why, it's just awesome. Put any music behind this dance sequence and it instantly fits. The real memorable thing is how horny this movie is. All the movies have been dirty and a bit sleazy before, but god damn. Hey, I'm not complaining, but still. The moment we meet these characters, all they're doing is talking about sex. We get these two twins who come out almost out of nowhere to join the plot. And they're just thinking about it, well, at least the one is. And then we got Ted's buddy, who when he can't get any, he's watching old school porno for what, good 10-15 minutes. And he's loving it. It's the most entertaining thing in the world to him. The coroner he's a typical horror movie coroner. He's a sleazebag. He hits on the dead bodies, which, why? There's no coroner really like that. Please tell me. Please tell me no. Please tell me no. And then he's watching this, I can only describe as aerobics porn. It looks like something Master Roshi would watch. He's watching it like it's, I don't know. I find it more confusing than erotic. But again, he is probably the most, next to Crispin Glover, the most memorable character. Just because how annoying and sleazy he is. I also love this line.
Jesus Christmas! Holy Jesus goddamn! Holy Jesus jumping Christmas shit!
And who else is there? Horny teens, twins, the Jarvis people. Oh yeah, Rob. Rob is a strange one. Okay, so he's supposed to be the brother of one of the main victims from part 2, which is kind of a cool idea. But part 2 happened like 2 or 3 days ago, canonically, and lore and universe wise. Part 2 happened like 2 or 3 days ago, and he's acting like a Jason expert, like he's been chasing Jason down for a few weeks or a month or so. And now we got the Jarvis family. The Jarvis family is a great switch up from these movies. I mean, first movie, You have horny teens or young adults, and basically it. Part 2, horny young adults, a cop. That's about it. Part 3, horny young adults plus bikers, an idiotic store couple. But the idea of adding a family unit in this film is actually refreshing. It actually changes the stakes up a bit because we have people who actually know and love and care about each other. And there's a kid. I mean, all the talks of children throughout these films, like a children's summer camp. Jason was a child at one time, like everybody else. But we actually do have a kid as a main character. And like I said before, I really do like Tommy. He just feels so silly and realistic. And especially when you listen to the behind the scenes features of Corey Feldman just wanting to hang out with all the other actors. He didn't really see himself as a kid. I feel like you did miss out a little bit on Mama Jarvis, because Tommy and Trish has so many scenes together, but Mama Jarvis, she doesn't really get that much to do. I mean, she has these moments where she's just staring out at the young kids and not really liking them, thinking they're probably gonna influence her children in a negative way. And there's something there with her being judgmental to them, but it doesn't really go anywhere. I'm not saying she's going to be like a killer or anything, but you think it'd be more like, oh, maybe she has to trust them to help save her family, but no, nothing happens. And she gets a very weak death. We see her walking out in the night, a flash, she sees something, more likely Jason, but then we don't see what happens after that. We only see her dead body. She's just gone from the film. The only time we see her dead body is in that deleted dream sequence at the end. In fact, a lot of the kills in this movie have abrupt jump endings. Like we either see the impact and it quickly jumps away, or we cut and don't actually see the violence but the body afterwards, which is I'm kind of mixed on it. While I would 100% prefer to see the blood and gore and all that amazing special effects, and also a small part of me kind of likes the quick jumpaways after the violence happens. It's almost like it's so brutal that even the movie doesn't want us to watch it. The final chase between Jason and Trish is probably one of my favorites so far, and how she fucks up his hand. Oh my god. Jason, you're gonna need like a lot of band-aids for that. Tommy pulls, okay, this part I never even fully got even as a kid when I watched these. Okay, so Tommy pulls a Jenny. He cuts his hair off in an attempt to distract Jason by making Jason think that, that Tommy is his younger self. And I don't fully get it. I mean, Jenny, she had a child psychology degree that the movie does love to mention. Right? And here, why would he know that? I mean, he does read an article about Jason, and maybe it mentions, like, only thing I think I can make sense is that the article, if Jenny did an interview on how she stopped and distracted Jason, and Tommy read that. That's the only way that this can make sense, why Tommy would think to cut off all his hair and say, Jason, remember. Don't you remember, Jason? Don't you remember? Trish, taking this time, takes the machete and whacks Jason's mask right off. And then we get Jason's new look for this film. And it's pretty cool, actually. In all the movies, Jason always gets a different appearance. It really makes no sense. I mean, part 2, he had like red hair and it had like a full-on little peach fuzz going on. Then in part 3, he's shaven headed and his face has a little different shape to it. In this one, his face has a completely different look altogether. I mean, I kind of like it because it does look a little bit closer to Kid Jason we saw in part 1. But like I said, it looks too monstrous. He looks like a demon or something. Tommy takes the machete and slashes it into Jason's head. And Jason still struggling to keep going, falls and the machete slides down his face, and it's such an amazing effect. It's so visceral, so gruesome. And apparently this was shot in reverse. Tom Savini and the crew, they made this, I think they made like a puppet of Jason's head. Then they slid the machete into it and have it fall down, or I think they have it falling upwards, and they shot it and they did it in reverse. There's also something fitting about Jason getting killed by a kid. I'm not sure why. I mean, it all kind of goes back to Jason being a bullied kid who barely got any love and affection from anyone except for his mother. Then when he sees his mom die, he just goes full ticked off and just takes his revenge out on everyone. Then got Tommy, who Jason killed his mom, almost killed his sister. Then Tommy's taking his revenge. For the first time, there is no dream sequence at the end of the film. But that didn't stop them from trying. There was one film, but it was cut. The original ending has them fade out after Jason's death. They fade in into the morning. They hear police sirens. Trish goes upstairs. She finds her mother's body in the tub with Jason behind her with his mask off. And it's amazing. You can find it on YouTube. It is probably the most effective of all dream sequence endings. It is just so creepy. It does so well at building up the tension. I really would, out of all of them, I really do wish they kept this one in. It's so good. Even though it's marketed as the final chapter, it teases us at the end with Tommy, like he's going to be the next Jason. He hugs his sister, he has a creepy look in his eyes. Oh no, maybe he's gonna go crazy too. Maybe he's gonna have his vengeance arc or something. Well, it doesn't really matter. This is the final chapter. It is the final chapter. No more movies. That was their plan. But then again, it made a little too much money to beat the final chapter, so I guess it's not on the final chapter. We have the internet. We all know this is only part 4 of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 movies. Not counting the fan films. But yeah, this was the actual final chapter. I think it'd be like kind of a good ending. It had the best kills. It had Crispin Glover. It had Tommy Jarvis. Apparently the original ending was going to be even more definitive. Tom Savini had it that Tommy would construct like a laser with a microwave and he would use that to blow Jason's head up. But apparently someone told him not to do that because, you know, just in case. Just in case. You know what I mean? Just in case. Yeah, so the people at Paramount who are so embarrassed about these movies, even they knew it was a bad idea to fully kill off Jason. You know, leave room just in case. Yeah, but Jason this, Jason that, Jason. It's been fun talking my brain off about the J-Man, but it's been too long. I need to take a break, rest my voice, take a nap. So I'll see you all when I wake up. So do whatever you need to do. I'm not your dad. But I just take a nap with me too. It's fun. It's fun to take naps. Ah.